Rupert Lowe released his 200, or actually over 200-page report with regard to grooming gangs in the UK. And this is something that's been waited a bit, and we all know that this has been going on. Tommy Robinson got arrested for exposing this. We've heard of the awful testimony of things that have actually been happening, and the duplicity, like the actual, well, I shouldn't say complicity of the government, of the UK government, of local police, of other government agencies that are involved. Lawyers have been covering this up, some of which are in power right now in the UK. The grooming gangs. We're talking about the exploitation of a lot of really girls in the UK by these groups, and the fact that the system over there has done nothing. Not only has done nothing, but has actually facilitated the problem. So you got, in the UK, you got a lot of serious problems. Obviously, you don't have freedom of speech. You have a very corrupt government. You have all sorts of crises. Obviously, you have an immigration crisis. You have a native, like an indigenous demographic crisis. And the fact that you have these grooming gangs, essentially these are these are women that are trafficked. These are girls that are trafficked in the UK, which is making all your other situations much worse. I mean, this is a form of very deep corruption, and evil is what it is. It's similar to the Epstein scandal that we have here in the United States, where I'm assuming that this is probably used for blackmail as well. So Rupert Lowe released his report. It's a bombshell report. He gives a bit of a speech, which I'll link in the description below. It's a YouTube video. The report, which I think is linked in there. If not, you can look it up because it's plastered on the news. That he says that there are funds within his budget to do prosecutions, which is very important because without accountability, you don't have, nothing actually moves, right? Now, what's really interesting is if there are prosecutions, which I don't know if I'd hold my breath on, but if there are prosecutions, there's a discovery process. And in that discovery process, more evidence comes out. That's precisely the reason why nobody got prosecuted for the Epstein thing. Even Prince Andrew, which we all know is heavily involved with Epstein, he's not being charged with any kind of sex crime. He's being charged with giving him information that he's not supposed to give him. There's a reason for that. Because if he was charged with a sex crime, there's a discovery process that gets dug up. There's more evidence that gets dug up. It is now in the legal process that if there's other names involved in that, then those people get referred for criminal prosecution. So, the fact that Prince Andrew is just being charged with wrongfully giving Epstein state information is actually very much a part of the cover-up. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, I wouldn't necessarily hold my breath here. There are so many people involved, very powerful people involved in this, that it would bring down governments. It would bring down the UK government in this case if this was actually brought to light, and if there's a ball rolling, there's prosecutions, there's accountability. The main goal of any state apparatus is to maintain the system, maintain the people in power. That's really the goal. I know that sounds dark, it sounds very black pill, but that is the fact. That is what they do. So, aside from the mechanisms, the legal mechanisms, it's important that people actually get this report out. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is these are testimonials. This is evidence against the system itself. And if people read it, they see what's going on. And the important thing is that people apply reason to the problem. And you got to take this thing step by step. When people see what's going on, the current government will lose a lot of credibility, and deservedly so. So the report is there. It is absolutely bombshell. It's evil. I mean, evil is the word to put to it. And if there are prosecutions, then we're talking about a to say the least, reshuffling of the UK government. Hopefully, maybe that'll solve your problems if you get rid of these people. The next group of people, I mean, you're rolling the dice. Whoever gets in charge next, are they just as bad? Are they worse? But you guys need to do something about your system, because you are in a crisis right now.